So chapter number 1, maximum marks that you can expect from this chapter is between 4 to 5. Right? What are we going to learn in this chapter? Basically, the foundation for accounting. Now, each chapter, that is what is going to give me a foundation for everything that I'm going to do in the future. Each chapter, ನಮ್ಮ 11th 12th ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರೋದನ್ನು ಗೊತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋನಾ ಡೂ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 3 days, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಇಷ್ಟೇನಾ, ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ರೈಟ್? It might be little boring because it's theory, right? I'll try to give you as many examples as possible. Whenever you feel it's too much, break thodana, then we'll come back, right? So, and again I'm saying, you guys are my fellow professionals, so we respect you, you respect us, right? No phones in the class until and unless it's necessary, right? And why professionals? Tomorrow when you become a CA, when we see each other, I don't want you to run away to say, ayyo, avuna anta. We are a very small world. Like I said, we are only 3.5 lakh. And most of them, whoever have passed after my age, people know me. So I want that image to be maintained. Clear with this? So let's start. First topic that we are going to learn is what's a transaction and an event. Right? ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ದ ವೆರಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಅ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್? ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲಿ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೊ ಟು ಬಿ ಅ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ವೈಸ್ ದೇ ಸೇ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 3 things to become a transaction. One of these 3 things, literally I'll simplify it, but one of these 3 things, it should happen to become a transaction. The first thing, it has to mean business. Business andrena something which involves your monetary aspect. Second, it can be a performance of an act. The third one is your agreement. So to be a transaction, it should be what? A business, performance of an act, or an agreement, right? Now when we talk about an event, right, to be an event, either it should be an end result of a transaction, either it should be what? End result of a transaction, or it should be a consequence of a transaction. ಏನ್ end result of a transaction, ಏನಿದ್ consequence ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಮೂಲಕ ನೋಡೋಣ. Simple thing, anything which involves money for me will become a transaction. Anything which involves what? Money. It can be for charitable purpose, I don't care, but it has to involve money. Clear with this? Right? Ega simpler examples for us to start off with: purchase of goods, selling of goods, paying rent, paying salary, paying electricity bill, advertising, royalty, all of this becomes part of my transactions. Simple, right? ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, purchase of goods, selling of goods, advertising, marketing, royalty, all of this becomes part of my transaction. End result of a transaction ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಎರಡು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ ಎರಡು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನನಗೆ ಏನು ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತೀನಿ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಇಫ್ ಐ ಬೈ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ 10,000, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್? ಐ ಸೋಲ್ಡ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ 20,000. I have made a profit of 10,000. End result of 2 transactions gave me a profit, and that profit becomes an event. Clear? So even sometimes this is one other exam question. I'm just telling it to you guys. I purchased a car. Transaction or an event? I purchased a car end of the year. Is it a transaction or an event? Okay. Idu purchase of car is a transaction. But if I purchase a car for owning it, for that becomes an asset for me. ನೀವು ಮನೆಗೆ ರೈಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, ದಿನ ದಿನ ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಅದೇ ಕಾರ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲಂಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸ್ವೀಟ್ ಹಂಚಿ, ಫೋಟೋಗಳಾಕಿ. ವೈ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್? ಬೋತ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಲುಕ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸಿಂಗ್ ರೈಸ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಕಾರ್. ದುಡ್ಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಐಟಮ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರ್ನ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀರಾ? Because you are going to be using it for a longer period of time. But if my business was buying and selling cars, then that becomes a artha aitala. So it has to become an asset. Then it becomes a event. If it's just that I'm purchasing and selling, it becomes a clear with this, right? Nene ಇನ್ನೊಂದು example we spoke about was my inventory valuation. I purchased goods. Some part of the goods was left unsold. I purchased some goods and some part of the asset was ಈ unsold assets na ಏನಂತೀವಿ? It's a closing stock, and closing stock for me is an event. Why? Because it becomes an consequence. And ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ನಾವು ಅಸೆಟ್ಗೂ ರೈಸ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಕಾರ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಒಂದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೀನಿ, ಒಂದ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಅಂತೀನಿ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇವತ್ತು ಅಥವಾ ನಾಳೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. ರೈಟ್? ಐ ಆಮ್ ಬೋತ್ ದ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್. ವೆನ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಕಾರ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಮನಿ, ಕಾರ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸಿಂಗ್ ರೈಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್? ಮನಿ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್, ರೈಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್. ಬೋತ್ ದ ವೇಸ್ ಮನಿ ಇಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್, ಸಮ್ ಐಟಮ್. ಒಂದನ್ನ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಒಂದನ್ನ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾಳೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. Right? So today, few things, if you don't understand, after we are done with first chapter, you can again revisit all the examples. So just we'll go through all of this, what we have covered, the definition. So transaction, I said, means what? Business, performance of an act or an agreement. While an event is a consequence of a transaction or a result. Okay? Do I have to remember the definition? We have to just understand and apply in our examples. Purchase of goods, we learnt it, it's a transaction. Sale of goods, payment for expenses. Clear? Next one. Profit or loss, a business after accounting for sales and expenses reports a profit of 42,000. Event. At the end of the financial year, a shop has unsold. Event. A municipal corporation. What's a municipal corporation? It's a government organization. Is the government organization, do they work for profit or non-profit? So non-profit organizations don't make profits or losses. They have only what? Deficit, right? Receives a grant of 500 lakh. Grant andre eno donation tara 500 lakhs they've got, but they've spent only 450 lakhs. So uldiro 50 laksha extra, right? If it was a business, it would have become a profit. Because it's a non-profit organization, it becomes a surplus. Therefore this also is part of my event. Artha aitala? ನನ್ನ CA ಫೈನಲ್ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು, ಅಂಡ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಥಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ರಿಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಟು ಟೆಲ್ ಯು. ಸೊ ದ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ವಾಸ್, ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ವಾಸ್ ABC Limited is paying excise duty or this. Somebody has filed a case, you have to defend that case. 15 marks question. In my previous attempt, same question came to us, ABC Private Limited. Same, everything else is the same. That time it was what? ABC Limited. For my exam it was what? ABC Private Limited. 15 marks. Last time that answer was 4 pages. For me the answer was 1 line. 15 marks answer. When I came out of the examination, first of all, I don't read past papers. I had only read the law. ಸೊ ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಸೂಪರ್, ಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಟ್ರಿ ತರ, ರೈಟ್? 15 marks ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂತು, ಹೌ ಡಿಡ್ ಯು ಮಿಸ್ ಇಟ್? ನಾನ್ ಮುಟ್ಟಾಳನ ಏನು? ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಒಂದೇ ಲೈನ್, ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಕಂಪನಿ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಇವರು ಈ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಇದೇ ಬಂತು, ಅದು ಇದು, ನನ್ ಶಾಕ್ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು. ನಾನ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ? ನನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ 15 marks ಒಂದ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯುವಾಗಲೇ ಡೌಟ್ ಇತ್ತು, ರೈಟ್? ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ದಾಗ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು. ಲಿಟ್ರಲಿ ಲೇಟರ್ ಐ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ಡ್ that don't get into that rot, mugging up, understand, you don't have to remember too many things, right? You'll be very confident at the end of the 60th day. Spend time, ask as many doubts as possible. Usually somebody yesterday was asking why are we taking longer, is because the objective is to make all of you guys pass. If you come to my institute, 45 days the subject is over. Here we are doing it for, so we have additional 15 days, so we'll utilize it. But once you go out, like I said, you should be satisfied that you have learned than what you came in for, right? So we are going to start off with a definition of accounting. This is my definition, and this will satisfy all the definitions given in every book. So accounting ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದು, I'll try to give you a very simple example and then we'll try to look into it how it works. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, let's assume you are 2 kids. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಇಬ್ರಿಗೂ ದುಡ್ಡು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಮನೇಲಿ ಒಂದು let's assume daughter 1, daughter 2. Daughter 1 they spent more, daughter 2 they did not spend so much. ಮನೇಲಿ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆದಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಮಗಳಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ. How did you keep a track of it? Just practically look, how did you keep a track of it? By adding all the expenses which they spent on her, but for them they spent it on their daughters. ಈಗ let's assume this case. ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ಗೆ. In that they selected some people, I don't know how or other stuff, they have selected some people, right? ಈಗ ಇವತ್ತಿಂದ do you think they'll keep a track of all the students who have applied or only students who are in the class? Correct? ಈಗ we'll try to look at it from an accounting angle now. What happens? See how the transactions or accounting happen. ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಂದೆ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಗಳು ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ? ನೀವು ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ತರಕಾರಿ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೂವು ಅವ್ರು ಮಾರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಂಗಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಟೋದವ್ರು ಬಿಲ್ ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್? ಬಟ್ ಡಸ್ all of those transactions affect you? If you go to one shopkeeper and you are an accountant of that shopkeeper, what transactions will affect you? Only the transactions of that shopkeeper. So ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕ ಎಂತ ಏನೇ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನಡೆದ್ರು ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಎಂಟಿಟಿನ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರೋ ಆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗೋದು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಆರ್ ಯು ಗೈಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್? ಸೊ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಈಗ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತು, ನೀವು ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ದಟ್ ನಾನು ಇವ್ರ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ಇವ್ರ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ಇವ್ರ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ಇವ್ರ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ, ಇವ್ರು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ರು, ಇವ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ ನನ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಯರ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ನಂಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ರು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ನಂಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಡೂ, ಲುಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಐ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಆಲ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ಮೀ and it has to be related to me. I will identify all the transactions which are happening with around which is related to me. Once I identify it, I will make a record of all the transactions. I will make a record of Once I record, what I will do, I will try to declutter or I will try to classify. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು ನೋಡೋಣ, ಎತ್ತಿ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿಡಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯು ಸಪರೇಟೆಡ್, ಬಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ವೇರ್? ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೈ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ, ನಾಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಲೈಫ್. ನಿನ್ಗೆ ನನ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅದನ್ನ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿಡೋಣ. So I will try to classify all the transactions of similar nature separately. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. She gave me 100, I gave her back 100. Do I owe her anything? I gave her 200, she did not give me anything. Does she owe me something? She gave me 300, I gave her 200 back. Do I owe her something? Now let's try to take only these three. First person, do I owe anything? Second, she owes me. Third person, ಈಗ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ಸಮರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಸಮರಿ ಬಂತು. ಇವಳ ಹತ್ರ ನನ್ಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬೇಕಾಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಡೂ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹರ್? ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಿತ್ ಹರ್. ಸೊ ಸಮರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಸಮರಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ದೆಮ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೈ ಇನ್ಕಮ್, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೈ ಅಸೆಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೈ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ದನ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಅಥವಾ ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರೋ ಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ದೆಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ನಾನೀಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ನೋ ಇದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ನೇಮ್ಸ್, ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಐ ಹವ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ಇಸ್ ದ ಸಮರಿ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಅ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಐ ಹವ್ ಸೆಡ್, ರೈಟ್? Accounting, don't write anything, everything is there, please don't write. First listen, if you understand it and then write, it makes sense. First listen. Accounting is basically, look into it, identifying. What do I identify? Transaction or events for my better understanding of monetary nature. Even though it means monetary nature, I want to be a little more, I said, clear what I am communicating. I will identify what? Transactions or events which are monetary in nature, right? Whose transaction am I concerned about? It has to be a transaction which belongs to what's an enterprise? It can be sole proprietor, partnership, company, trust, anything, right? It can be anything, but that should happen to that particular enterprise. Illivargu clear aita? Once I identify, then look into it. Then record, classify, summarize, analyze, interpret, right? This is what is accounting. ಈಗ ನಾವು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ we do it through a mechanism or a book called as journal. ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ದು ಹೆಸರು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರೀತಾರೋ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿತೀವಿ? ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ನ ನಾವು ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಬುಕ್ ಹೆಸರೇನು? ಜರ್ನಲ್. ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಬುಕ್ ಯಾವುದು? ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ನೇಚರ್. See, when I say, what's your name? Ananya. When I say Ananya, it means all the transactions which are concerned Arjun to Ananya. Listen to it. Because I'm doing accounting in whose books? Books of Arjun. So ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅನನ್ಯದ ಆಗಿರೋ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನೆಲ್ಲಾನು ನಾನು ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ or I classify them. So whenever I say I am classifying all the transactions which Arjun is involved with Ananya, everything will be grouped together. What's your name? Harshita. So when I say Harshita, that means what? I'm not talking about Harshita's personal transactions. I am talking of what? Transactions of Arjun and Harshita. Are you clear? So e classification alli transactions of similar nature are going to be grouped through a mechanism called as ledger. Right? Once I classify the ledgers, then I will try to, how do I summarize it? I summarize through so if somebody asks you what's a trial balance, now look into the definition. Trial balance is a summary of my ledger accounts. So what is a trial balance? Ledger account. With this summary, I prepare financial statement. What is the financial statements? Look into it. There are 3 financial statements we are going to talk about. 1, income statement. Cash flow statement. Cash flow statement ನಿಮಗೆ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಏನಿಲ್ವೋ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬೇಡ. Let's try to look into what is an income statement and what's a balance sheet. You have all done? Look into it. What do you mean by an income and expense statement or an income statement? Income and expense statement talks about for a particular period. If you would have seen the definition of an income statement, you would have always written profit and loss for the year. Listen to it. In a particular year, whatever income I have earned, in a particular year, income I have earned, I will match it with expenses to find out the profit or loss. Income statement is something which talks for a particular period. In a particular period, what is my income? What is my expense? Why do I do this? I'll try to match my income with expenses to find out my profits or loss. It's not just income and expenses. It has to be within a particular period. Are you clear? Whenever you are telling, ardhambarda helbedi. When you have written your income statement, you always wrote, if you remember, trading account for the year, trading account for the year ending. Correct? What does a balance sheet do? On a particular date, how much I own to how much I owe. How much I own is my asset. How much I owe. This is not talking about what happened during the year. It is only talking about on that day. As on 31st March, this is my assets, this is my liability. It is not talking about what happened from 1st April to 31st March. It is only talking about not yesterday, not tomorrow. Yesterday I was crorepati, today I was crorepati. Whichever day you are making the balance sheet. So balance sheet talks about what I owe versus what I own. What I owe is my liability, what I owe is my asset. Assets minus liability is my net worth. So balance sheet talks about your net worth. But net worth on a particular date. Listen to it again. Net worth on a... Are you all clear? So ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸತಿಯಿಂದ ಏನೇ ಬರೆಯುವಾಗಲೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. So trading or my income statement talks about what? For a particular period, what is my income? What is my expense? Why do I match it? Simple, right? What does my balance sheet do? On a particular day, it talks about my assets. Clear? ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಿದೆ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಲರ್ನ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫೈನಲ್. ಏನ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಫಿಕ್ಸೆಡ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂತ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ between the items of balance sheet and P&L, financial ratios. You would have done something, right? That is what we do. Communication, we'll come to that part. Illivargu definition artha aita ellargu. So just without trying to remember anything, we'll try to just focus what we learned. Accounting is basically got to do with what? Identifying what kind of transactions? Whom should it belong to? Once you identify, what do you do? How do you record? You record in a book called journal. Next one. What do you do in classification? Transactions of similar nature. How do we do it? Ledger account. Then next one. How do we prepare summary? Trial balance. Statement of ledger accounts is my trial balance. With the help of trial balance, what do I do? Financial statements. What are the financial statements? What is your income statement? Income for a particular period. Why do you do it? To know the end result. To know the end result. That is my profit or loss. Next one. What do you do? Position of assets and liabilities. Why do you do it? What? We'll say net worth, right? Then we said analysis, interpretation. We'll just, where you group it, you establish the connection. Last one? Communication. Right? So we'll try to see, is this what it is trying to say? Accounting is the process of identifying transactions, recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing, interpreting, and communicating financial information in a significant manner in terms of money, which are part of financial character to facilitate decision making. Definition, do we have to mug it up? You have understood? So cool. Notes idellanu ide, dayaviಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ. If you guys want to write, I would prefer if you can write only what we did, like this. So I was telling you, right, how do I revise? I generally do like this. So everything in a definition, I try to break it in the smaller words, so that finally I'll use my English somewhere and club it along. Okay. Next one, basically procedural aspects of accounting, not important. What are we trying to do in accounting is basically how do we gather information and how do we use that information. Procedural aspects. So if they ask you, 99% in last 20 years they have not asked, but still for a reason, what are the procedural aspects? Andre now enik ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, one is to gather information, second one is what? For the purpose of using it. Now this what we learned. First function, recording, right? I told you what are we gonna do, are recorded in the books of journal. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, subsidiary books. But what you have to understand is, look into it, where is subsidiary books coming under? So it is the first stage. So whatever we are doing in subsidiary books is going to be part of my recording. So the basic function of accounting, where all transactions of financial nature are recorded in the journal or next one, what did I say? Organizing and grouping transactions of into a separate ledger account for easy ಇದ್ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಮಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಡೋಂಟ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಯೋರ್ ಟೈಮ್, ನಾಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್. MCQ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಚೂಸ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಒನ್. ಸಮರೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, you prepare your trial balance. With the help of it, you prepare your, that is basically your P&L account and balance sheet, right? Analyzing, I told you all your financial data, I'll try to categorize into meaningful categories. Like I said, fixed assets andre eno, all the assets which are of long term nature goes fixed, short term nature current asset. How did I do it? I thought these are meaningful pattern. So nothing much for us to remember about. Interpretation, I told you, you draw conclusions, trying to identify their impact and also future outcomes for decision making. Idna navu foundation alli kaliyala. So nothing much to worry about. Let's come to the next one, which is my communicating. Now, one question which is going to come is on the communication. We'll talk about it. 99% the answer is all of the above. 99% the answer is all of the above, but if they ask you some other question, we'll try to look at it. Now, whom are we communicating with? Or to whom is this financial statements important? ಈ financial statement ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು important, ಯಾಕೆ? I want you guys to understand who's a stakeholder. Whoever is having an interest in your business is a stakeholder, right? What you guys are all telling is a shareholder. Shareholder and stakeholders are different. Stakeholder andre nange ee business mele ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಇರೋರು. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ದ ಓನರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ವೈ ಆರ್ ದೇ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್? ಬಾಸ್, ದುಡ್ಡು ಹಾಕಿದೀನಿ, ದುಡ್ಡು ನೀನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪುಟ್ ಮನಿ, ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ನೋ ವೆದರ್ ಆರ್ ಯು ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ದುಡ್ಡು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ? ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ, ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ? ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್, he has to be interested. Who else? Okay, government, right? How much you earn, how much tax you have to pay on it, government is keenly interested. Also for the reason of calculation of GDP of the country. What is the GDP? We'll learn later. Economics class teacher bartara helkodtara, not my subject. So government, we finished one. Investors, second one is, third one, okay, banks. Why? Loan kotre loan ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ. Why creditors? First of all, who's a creditor? The person who has given you goods on credit. ಅವನ್ಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ನೀವು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಫಾರ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಈಗ ನೀವು ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರ, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ವೆಂಡರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್, ಯು ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ಕರ್, ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ನನಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ತಿನ್ಬೇಕು, ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಸಿಹಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ವುಡ್ ಶಿ ಗಿವ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ಯು? ಓಕೆ, you go buy with her every day. One day you say you forgot your wallet. Will she give it to you? Yes. Why? Right? Trust factor, all of it. Now, same thing when you look into it from a business angle. When a business is growing, or when initially yadadru business start adre, one of the biggest problem is the working capital. Is what? Why? Because no one wants to give them on a credit. No, it's like after taking the goods, what if he runs away? They will say, give a guarantee, that guarantee, this guarantee, you give this reference, that. But once the name grows big, people are okay to give, right? So how would I get to know whether the business is doing well or not? Basic here. So we covered. Okay. We covered 3 people now. Investors or owners. Second one. Government. Third one. Okay, bank. Fourth one. Okay, next. Okay, management. Okay, we'll go employees. We'll come management later. Why do you employees interested in financials? Job security, no boss. If the company is making loss, you know, people automatically putting their resignation and find other. Why? Otapadu. Correct? When you are joining a company also, your parents, and I have struggled it when I started my company, was people were like, you nine number. ಇವನ್ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ತಾನ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಅಪ್ ಬೇಕಾ, ಯಾವತ್ತು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್? Because today now everyone is okay to join us because we've been here for 10 years, good company, now people are okay to join. But first 3-4 years was nightmare for us, trying to convince ನನ್ನ ಮುಖ ನೋಡಿ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿ, ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಹುಡುಗ ಇದೆ, ನಿಂಗೆ ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. It's okay, right? So employees, definitely they look into the growth of a company and the financials, right? Next. Okay. Why customers are interested? Have you ever gone to a shop and said, boss, show me your financials, only then I'll buy this guava from you? He'll throw the guava on your face and say, get lost. Have you ever gone and asked? Then why consumers or customers are looking for your financials? Okay, we'll try to look into it the other way around. Okay, you all know Apple. Apple products, you pay almost 80-90% more than what the cost of the product is. If for an iPhone, what you pay 1.2 lakhs or something, the cost of manufacturing is 30 or 35,000. You know it will cost, you are paying 80,000 more. Are you saying people won't buy? Oh, 80,000 profit is making. Then brand is created. So how is financials got to do with that? I am talking of financials. How is it got to do with the customer? How does the assets liability position of a company talk about it? Boss, I'll tell you a very simple thing why financials are important. You are buying sugar down. Do you ever check which company sugar is it or other stuff? But when you are buying a phone, don't you search? When you are going for buying a car, you do even more research. Why this becomes important? Look into it. When they give you a warranty, a company which is financially strong, they know if any product, anything happens, they are going to be there to service your product. When the company is making losses, people automatically get hesitant to buy a product because tomorrow something happens, company might close down. Whom are you going to get it serviced with? Companies like Bosch, you know, their machineries cost 150-200 crores. Same machinery will be available in Pune for 50 crores. Still people will pay 140 crores and buy it from Bosch. What is the difference? 90 crores more. Still people go and buy it from Bosch because these products and all have a 100-year warranty. We are not talking of 1 year, 2 year. We are talking of this guy, after paying 50 crores, if he's not there tomorrow, he'll say these products are not available, that parts are not available. What will happen to that customer who has bought it from you? Are you clear? Brand and all is a perception. Shah Rukh Khan is doing, Shah Rukh is a brand. So Shah Rukh Khan's financial position you'll see and make a brand. Right? Brand and all is a intangible. We'll talk about it later. For us, why financials are important is to know whether they will be able to service that client. Are you clear? What? Who else? Public. Why? Whenever any new factory comes in or anything happens, you would have seen that whole Tesla thing. Now, if you are following news, who are the internal guys? Employees. Owners is a external. We'll see. We'll talk about it. Management and employees are internal. Investors are always considered external. I'll tell you when we do the next concept, right? So all other guys are external only. Clear? So I've given that whole notes. You guys can just read through it. I've explained everything. Nothing. You can recollect whatever I've said, right? So they'll ask you which of the following are interested in the financials of the company. 99% the answer is all of the above. 99%. Otherwise, they might ask you what's internal, external, and all. Not too important. Clear till here? Okay. What's the next topic that we are gonna do? Is okay. The next topic. How did accounting evolve? Only time they've asked question is on these two things. Remember this name and this one. Except these two, none of the other things have ever been asked. It's basically the whole history of accounting. First known was Egypt, guys. Then Babylonians were there, were from Iraq. Then China had some system. Then our Arthashastra had it. Finally, one guy made it into a book, right? That was our Luca Pacioli. He was the first guy who made it into a book, right? Whatever we are learning is from the same concept of double entry system. So they ask this question again and again, once in 10 years. Who's the author of the double entry system of bookkeeping? So remember this name, right? Then the accounting as such was started for wealthy individuals to track their money. That was called as stewardship accounting. So these are the only two things which are required from it. All others are nonsense for GK purpose. You can read and you can ignore. Done? So I'm telling you whatever is not required. Why am I telling you to is on the day before examination, you know what all not to focus on. Okay. Next thing, usually a 5-mark question or a 2-mark question. What are the objectives of accounting? What are the? Shall we start? Yes. Let's go back to the definition. What was my definition? First, identifying transactions. That's not a objective. Then recording. Is recording an objective? Next one. Classification. Is it an objective? Classification is not an objective. What comes out of classification is an objective. See, at the end of the day, she paid me money, I paid her money. That I put it separately. That's not an objective. What is more important for me? Do I still pay her? Does she have to still pay me? That becomes an objective. To know how much I owe, right? Preparing from classification, what did we do? Summary of ledger accounts through what? Is preparation of trial balance an objective? From the trial balance we prepare. Why do we prepare income statement? So is ascertainment of profit an objective? Yes. Why are we doing balance sheet? To ascertain the. Is it an objective? Right? Next one. After this, analyzing and is it an objective?
Yes.
From this, I am gonna communicate. Is communicating this an objective? What do you mean by objective? Now, the way you guys are telling right, wrong, now I thought, let me try to, what do you mean by an objective? What is your objective of coming here? To clear your, now you are walking from home to the class. Is that an objective? Sitting in class, writing test, is that an objective? To get your final objective done, these things are important, right? Just doing processes are not your objectives. Why do I attend class? If I attend all the classes, my chances of clearing will be higher. So attendance, keeping 90%. I attended all the 90% of the classes properly. I am trying to derive an objective of being consistent or being more dedicated. I am writing my test properly, self-testing. Certain things you try. I came home, I drank water. Drinking water is objective, right? Analyzing and interpretation, you are doing it as a process. From that, you are getting a result. That result you want to communicate. Is communicating your results an objective? Right? So, 4 objectives without even studying we figured out. Objective number 1, systematic recording of transactions. Second one, to ascertain the profits or losses. Third one, ascertain the financial position. Fourth one, right? I am writing in layman words, then we'll try to standardize it later. All the 4 we know what it is. I'll add one objective which is basically from this. From the financial position. What are we trying to learn in a financial position? Assets. Right? Assets minus liabilities is my net worth. If my assets are more than liabilities, if are more than, we say we are a solvent person. If liabilities are more than asset, we say it is insolvent. So, to know the solvency position, is it an objective? The answer is yes. How do you get to know the solvency position? Through the help of ishtu artha aita? 5 marks question. Write down the objectives of your accounting. Now let's read. See the objectives. First one, systematic recording of transactions. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, I will only try to remember this. I will try to remember this. This I will write it in my basic explanation is more than enough. Don't try to mug up all of this. Are you clear? So let's read the objectives. Right? Systematic recording of transactions, ensuring all financial transactions are recorded in an organized and systematic manner for bookkeeping and further processing. Ascertainment of results, we know what it is. Determine the profit or loss by preparing a P&L account for a specific period. Ascertainment of financial position, prepare a balance sheet to show the business assets and liabilities on a given day. Providing information. To whom are we providing information? Right? To make what? To know the right short-term and long-term solvency to meet the financial obligations. Clear? So 5 objectives. Functions go objectives ki em difference. ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮನೇಲಿ ಆಗೋ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್, ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ದಟ್ ಅ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಡಸ್ ಟು ಅಚೀವ್ ಯುವರ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಈಗ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ you have to understand, does accounting talk about what is happening in the future or does it talk about the past? Okay, we'll go back to the definition. Recording of the transactions which have already happened. So you are not recording anything of the, so I use the past data to predict the, is predicting a future part of accounting. Whoever is wanting to predict, management accountants, I'll give the information, that's all. I don't predict the, I'm not an astrologer, I'm an accountant. Are you clear? Accountant only measures the past performance. What does he measure? Does he forecast? He helps to forecast. How can you do a forecasting of the future? By the past data. Last 10 exams you passed, so automatically your 11th exam also you will tend to. Who told you? Through the past data, we are trying to just predict. Clear? Will accountants take decisions? Will accountants take decisions? We only provide information for. Are you clear? We only provide information. So we help relevant stakeholders by providing proper financial information so that they can take the. Are you clear? 3 functions. What we learned? First one, management, measurement. First one is, so what are we measuring? Performance. Second function, do we forecast? We help. We help to. Third one, we provide information for. 3 functions done. Fourth function, let's try to look into it. When you get results, what do? First thing, once you get your marks card, what you do is you check with your friends. They have got lower, you are happier. Correct? No. It does not matter. You have failed, they have failed. They also have failed along with you, good for you. If they have passed, then story is different. Correct? No? So, when we try to do what we do in accounting is, we would have kept like a target, right? And I'm going to spend a little more time on this, got to do with your personal part of it. We always try to set a target. And we always try to assess my performance with my target that I have kept, right? In CA also, one of the thing is, it's not got to do with she is doing better than you or somebody else is doing better than you. It is only got to do with me. For a reason, I told you, out of all these guys, right? Even if one guy clears, it's a massive success for us. But luckily, we have been getting 40%. Luck's been our side, we are doing it. But I'm saying that is not what the statistics talk about, right? We do better than what the institute is giving, it's good for us. You always try to keep your own targets. And for me, when I start my preparation, you know what is the target that I always keep? Is to get a distinction. When I dream, at least dream for your, so that you don't fail. When you keep a target to pass, failing has a higher probability. So all of you guys here, we would always want you guys to do your best for aiming your. It is not got to do with she got 1 mark more than me. Boss, still 80 people have failed. Have we all together, 57 or 67 girls, did we all make sure we cleared together? That is the objective. You are competing with 1 lakh students across the country, not with the 60 students in the class. Class ranking is only got to do because for you guys to assess, right? Target should be that between all of you guys, the mark difference should be that 2 marks, not that 50 marks difference. One girl got 50, one girl got 100. It should be that thing, right? That's when the competition happens. And one of the thing that I always try to look into it, this is a very sadistic story, right? So when I come out of the examination, usually there are people, right, who say my exam went bad. I always say Tatastu. I always say God bless you, right? Because out of that 80 people who have to fail, somebody, right, she says I did not do well. I'm like, okay, fine, 1 gone, 99 more to go. 1 more, right? Paper did not go, 1 more gone. My target is I have to be in the top 20. Then when after results they come and say, oh, I did well, that day you only told, no? What you tell will happen. So never ever by chance also tell that you're going to fail. Never ever. We are going to discuss about that. Are you all clear? So for us the target is to get what? So from the distinction, how much did we miss is what we are going to look at, right? So we are going to compare and evaluate. Now let's assume that your preparatory exams came in, you did bad. What do you do with it? Huh? First thing what your parents will do, cut down your phone, TV and other things, lock you in the room. What mechanism is that? They are trying to do is a control mechanism. You guys, they are doing is a control mechanism so that you guys are focused on what you are doing out there, right? Now, what happens in the business is, let's assume that I am making profit, 100 crores business, I made 10 crores profit. She is doing 100 crores business, 20 crores profit. What will I do as a business? I compared same revenue, same business. She is doing 20 crore profit, I am doing 10 crore profit. What will you do? You will try to find where all has she spent lesser money. I will try to control my expenses, right? Only when you compare, you will know where to control, right? Last one, best thing, government, it is saying hell with all of it. I want you to maintain accounting. Forget what function, your objective and all. Government is telling you what? Government regulation makes it mandatory for you guys to do your accounting. So these are the 6 functions. First function, measurement of the. Second one, forecasting. Third one, I have been telling you guys, I'll only focus on reading this and all. I'm going to be writing on my, right? And when you read twice, thrice, 4 times, automatically it will start coming to it. Measurement, forecasting, making, comparison, control, regulation. Measurement, what is the keyword? Past performance. Forecasting, helps in forecasting. Decision making, provide information. Assess, comparison, targets versus my actual performance. Comparison, right? Target versus my actual. Control, identify the weaknesses, provide feedback for a corrective measure. Last one, government regulation, because government wants you to supply the data for regulatory and tax compliance. Are you clear? Right? What's the time? Oh, it's only 1 hour. Crazy. Done? Done? Comfortable? Interesting, boring? Either one side. That you move, it becomes like somebody telling some mantra to me. It's like, we'll go next. Okay. So we are done with the first part of the introduction to what accounting is all about. Now, we are gonna go into few things. For bookkeeping. 3 questions which have been asked in the examination. I have covered all the 3. So we'll try to look into it. Everyone, please listen to what I'm saying. Tell me the definition of accounting. Stop. Recording. That's where it stops. Till here, whatever we spoke is bookkeeping. That is identifying transactions and recording. That's all is bookkeeping. Identifying transactions. That's all is. Now, earlier what used to happen, somebody used to record the transactions and give it. Then other accountants used to do all the other things, journal entry, blah, 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 all of it. Now, everything is done through ERP by one guy. Why are we learning it? From last 50 years, same book is there. That's why we are learning it. Is it required? Sometimes mad guy, somebody will give the paper. So we have to read it, right? So bookkeeping is basically systematically recording the financial transactions. Are you clear? So you don't have to mug up the definition. Clear with this? Right? Now, what are the objectives of bookkeeping? And first thing, objective. What's the objective? You are doing only one thing here. That's the objective. You are doing this only for the purpose of what? Recording the transaction. That's why it's a objective here. Now look into it. Can I? So what were we discussing? First objective that we spoke about was the recording of the transaction. The second part of it, look into it. Can I know the financial position of a business in bookkeeping? Can I know a financial position? Why? At which stage will I know the financial position? Is summarizing part of bookkeeping? Can I know financial effect of a transaction? Okay, what do you mean by a financial effect then? So whenever we talk about a financial effect, we are talking of a debit and a credit. We'll talk about it later. So since I'm doing journal entry, I can know a debit and a credit, that something is going up or not. So can I know a financial effect of a transaction? The answer is yes. Can I know the financial effect of a transaction? Yes. Can I know a financial position? Are you clear? So what are the two objectives? Complete recording of a transaction, ascertainment of financial effect on the business. Are you clear? Right? This one they've asked in the examination. Can a financial effect of a business, of a transaction, be ascertained in a bookkeeping, true or false? Then can we go next? Right? This is another important question. So everyone listen to it. Without studying, if you have understood whatever I have told, you can make 5 differences without even studying. First thing, what is bookkeeping? What is accounting? Recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing, interpreting, communicating. Difference number 1. Second one, can you find out profits in bookkeeping? Can you do in accounting? Difference number 2. Can you do financial position? Yes. 3 differences are done. Can you take decisions based on bookkeeping? Can you do it as per accounting?
Yes.
Right? Are there any subfields for bookkeeping? The answer is no. Are there any subfields for accounting? The answer is yes. Without anything, your 5 marks are done. Did you understand the way we remember things? Right? Simple 5 things, we have done it already. We'll try to see are they the same answers that they're talking of. First one, bookkeeping is concerned with recording of the transaction. Here it is concerned with summarizing. It serves as a foundation for accounting, whereas accounting is called as the language of business. Financial statements are not prepared. Financial statements are prepared based on the bookkeeping. Managerial decisions cannot be taken. Here, your management uses the accounting information, because we learned in functions that can you do decisions in accounting? Can you use the data and do decisions? Right? There are no subfields. There are. This is basically you will ascertain the financial position. You don't ascertain. Right? This much is more than enough. Don't try to break your head. Even if you get in the examination, 4 marks you can do without even studying. For 1 mark, don't try to mug up and clutter too many things in your brain. Lesser you know, better for your examination to recap. Clear? Okay. So we have 5 accounting subfields of accounting, right? Financial accounting we know already, we have learned. Cost accounting we are going to learn in CA Inter. Now, what do you mean by cost accounting? Simple thing. I want you guys to just write down this. Cost accounting is got to do with ascertainment of cost and cost control. This is more than enough. Cost accounting is got to do with what? Ascertainment of cost and cost control. Done? So what do you mean by cost? Basically, how much have you spent on a product? So you are trying to find out how much have you spent on a product and try to control the cost. That means you want to reduce as much as possible the cost of it. So recording all of this is known as my cost accounting. So I'll try to tell what is management accounting dealing with. Okay. So there are actually various branches of accounting like tax accounting, financial accounting, tax accounting, cost accounting, human resource accounting, social responsibility accounting. So many branches are there. Now, when I'm trying to take a decision, let's assume that I want to pay salary to somebody or I want to give bonus to an employee. Do you want all the information or you want only selected information? Right? Now, what management accounting does is, in all the branches that we have, it will try to pick up all the relevant information, try to make it in a summarized manner so that it will give to the management so that they don't have to go through everything. ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದೇ ರಿಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬದಲು ಇದನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ ಕೇಳೋ ಡೇಟಾ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ರಿಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಟಿವ್ ಮ್ಯಾನರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಆರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್, management accounting provides internal reports to the business managers for the purpose of planning, control, decision making and performance evaluation. It also includes cost accounting for cost control and cost ascertainment. So they use some part of the cost accounting in management accounting, right? Number CA interally, cost accounting and management accounting is one subject. right? Because final littu they have removed it off now, so it is only one subject that you guys have it. Social responsibility accounting andre simple. Boss, what are you spending on your social activities, right? So adru ನೀವು ಆ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀರೋ ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ನೌ ಯು ಗೈಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ, ರೈಟ್? So if you know, there is one company which has sponsored your education. I don't know how many of you guys are aware of it. It's actually one company which has come forward and sponsored your education. So they want us to show an impact. So if the impact is good, they will continue to sponsor more kids. If let's assume that there is more failures here, that means they'll drop out. Maybe or might do another batch, right? So for us, that result becomes important because they want to just not know the spending part, but also they want to do the benefit factor of it. Clear? Human resource accounting, Andhra. What is human resource? Employees, right? Now look into it. What are we talking in the human resource accounting? From the stage of identifying an employee, selecting him, onboarding him, retaining him, and when he exits, all of this involves a cost. ಒಂದು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿನ ಹುಡುಕ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು, ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ is it all free? There will be a cost involved. Once he joins in, he will ask for canteen facility, cab facility, telephone facility, internet facility, his salary, ESI, PF. Boss, all of it is a cost. When an employee leaves, you have to pay one-time settlement. Imagine when one employee is leaving and another employee is joining. Do you think both of them will have the same productivity? The new guy who's coming in, his productivity will be low. Till that time, don't you think there is going to be a loss to the company? All of this we recorded under human resource accounting. This also, again, you don't have to remember any definitions. You can write in your own. Read once or twice, you will be able to write. Clear? Done? This we'll try to read later. Limitations we'll try to do towards end something to it. Okay. Given a choice, 7 questions. I want you to answer it. I'll give you guys 8-10 minutes. Okay. In CA thing, it's not just about getting your true or false. You are supposed to give the reasons also. Right? Answer is right, reasoning is wrong, you will lose marks. Answer is right, but the so you will. Clear? Right? First one is there is no difference between bookkeeping and accounting, both are same.
False.
What will you write answer? Bookkeeping is only concerned with recording, whereas accounting is concerned with, right? Second one, management accounting covers preparation and interpretation of financial statements. Do we prepare financial statements in management accounting? So financial accounting is concerned with preparation of financial statements, not the, therefore it is financial accounting is concerned with internal reporting to the managers. Which accounting is concerned with internal reporting? So this also is, because it's not financial accounting, it is the management accounting where we are reporting to the managers. Customers of business should not be considered as users of accounting. Right? We told you customers are concerned with your stability of an organization. For what reason? Service. Therefore, false. They are considered as the users. Summarizing is a basic function of accounting, right? Recording is the basic function of accounting. Summarizing and all is my where it comes in as part of my objectives, right? Balance sheet shows the position of a business on a day of its preparation. Objectives of bookkeeping includes complete recording of transaction and ascertainment of financial effect on the business. So, how many of you got all right? One wrong, two wrong. Wait, two wrong and all is terrible for this. Everything I have taught, no? Everything what I have taught only has come in, no? Please read it carefully. Like I am saying, these are all easier things. You should not lose marks on that. MCQs. First one. Which of the following is not a subfield of accounting? Purpose of accounting include all of the following except I think this term we never read anywhere, no? That's all it is. Right? Bookkeeping is mainly concerned with designing we did not learn, interpreting we did not learn, therefore all of the following are functions of accounting except I think we learned decision making, we learned forecasting. So ledger posting. Financial statements are part of. Financial position of the business is ascertained on the basis of users of accounting information include financial statements do not consider this. I did not tell. So one of the thing we have already learned it is what we only consider monetary nature. Therefore, there is one which says Soil paid rent of 5,000. Transaction, event, transaction and an event. Event. I'm in 9th question. Be in the present. 10th one. Yesterday we discussed after sale of goods. If this was not there, the answer would have become since there is after. Since there is therefore it becomes a. Which of the following is not a business transaction? Where is C? Wait, no. Bought a machinery for 10,000 for business. Is it a transaction? Paid salary? Paid son's fees? It is a transaction but not a. Okay, this I did not teach, so I'll have to come back. Done? Right? So I have left one topic called as what? That I'll do later. Right? Okay. Let's try to see what did we learn in our chapter 1 part 1. We started off with what's a transaction? Transaction meant business, performance of an act, agreement. We learned about event, end result of a transaction or a consequence. We learned about some examples. Then we learned about what is accounting, identifying, recording, classifying, summarizing, interpreting, analysis and interpretation and communication. Recording is journal entry, ledger, summarization, trial balance, P&L account, balance sheet. Then we learned about objectives of accounting, recording, profits, balance sheet, communication, solvency position. We learned about functions, measurement, forecasting, decision making, comparison, control, government regulation. We learned about what is bookkeeping, recording, two objectives, complete recording, financial effect. We learned about difference between bookkeeping and accounting, foundation of business, language of business, definition, ascertainment, can take decisions, cannot take decisions, right? Then we learned about subfields of accounting, costing, cost control and management, cost control and cost ascertainment, management accounting, internal reporting, human resource accounting, social responsibility accounting. Then that was the last topic.
Yes.
That's all we learned.
Yes.
Right? Look into it. We took actually 1 minute to revise the entire chapter. If you see, we keep doing this again and again. Whenever you see a chapter, you are not going to do this again 1 month before exam. Once in a while, you have to keep doing it. The moment, like the way I'm saying, it has to come into your back of your mind. Inside things, you can remember the day before you read. Sound effects are not anything. Before examination, when you read it, you should be able to recollect a lot of stuff. Today, if you can recollect this till the examination day, that is more than enough. You have to keep doing this again and again. Today, you will do one chapter. Tomorrow, when you are doing, you will do chapter 1 and chapter 2. Day after, chapter 1, 2, 3. Like this, when you keep doing it again and again, what will happen? 5, 6 chapters will be at the back of your mind always. That is good enough. It's better than starting at, you read today, you open the book 6 months later, it will become Kulja Sim Sim, again restart. This is how you have to revise. Are you all clear? So what I want you guys to do is, whenever you come every day, you keep your sheets like this. 2, 3 of you guys, you revise once, then when she is revising, you listen. Like this, make a group of 3, 4. Take turns, everyone revise to each other one more time. Hey, what did we learn? If you get some conceptual doubt, you ask each other. Homework questions also, what I give, I would always want you guys, you come early, you check your answers with your friends, see where you have done mistakes on. I will run through the answers, only the ones which are doing wrong. If I explain it, we can do more questions. If I do all the questions, I am already a CA. I don't want to prove to you guys that I can solve the questions. Correct, no?
Yes.
Understood?
Yes.
When you do this as a habit for one subject, automatically all the subjects, you make it. You get comfortable with few people, make your teams, have your groups, make sure that whatever you're reading in, you're all together. Today, if you have planned that we are going to read it, you read it together. You can make it tomorrow when we come in, we are going to read everything, we come back, we revise everything, you keep going on. When you find some extra questions, let's say you 4 of you are a group, send that question. Hey, you know what, I saw one question on journal entry from the past paper. I told you where to find. For the ones who came late, you can ask the other guys. In the CA material, I told you where to find, right? So what I like you guys to do is, I would want you guys to keep going through question papers again and again. Not answers. What? More the question papers you read, the more you become familiar of the pattern of the paper. The more you become familiar, examination will look like a cakewalk. What will they ask? Same thing, no? Right? You can easily pass. And again, I'm saying, it's just my laziness I don't get rank. Not for anything. For me, I always say, like, I'll keep doing it. 1, 2, 3. I see last 4, 5 papers. I would have crossed 60. I'm like, yo, we'll study for 30 marks. Rather, one new movie would come, I would go and watch. And I'm telling heights of laziness. And again, I'm saying, I've seen a friend of mine for 8 months for final. I'm telling you, every day morning 6:30 used to go up to the institute library. He'll come at 10 o'clock. He will again study for 2 more hours. 8 months, I have not even seen him a day that he has missed it. And on the other side, I was there, studying morning 2 hours, then going out, playing cricket, coming back, watching movie, then again but I was also very consistent with what I'm studying. I'm not saying that, but when I'm studying, I was very clear what I have to study. My planning was very clear. This is how I'm going to read. And I knew from day one that what I read today, I won't remember 8 months down the line. So I have to be clear that what should I remember today? What should I remember 6 months later? What should I remember the day before examination? What people do, they'll study everything today. 6 months later, they will re-study everything. Right? Practically, this is what I'm saying, start, always do a back calculation. Day before examination, I get 30 hours. What will I read in that 30 hours? Before that, I'll get 4 days to study. What will I read 4 days? And all the time, I still keep telling people don't know how to study. That's why they fail CA. CA is not difficult, boss. One book is there. You read that book, you will pass. You guys are lucky also. When we wrote, we did not have breaks in between exams. Final, we got a break, but we never had break. Now you guys have break between exams. Your intermediate, 30% marks became MCQ. We had 8 papers, you have 6 papers. Final, only 5 papers for you guys. We had 8 papers. One is an open book exam. They have made it as easy as possible. Right? People are saying quality of CS are going down. Thankfully, the quality of BCom is even going bad. CA is bad, okay, but who's your alternative? They are not even there. Right? So you're still in a safer position. I'm saying don't waste your time unnecessarily. I have taken CA very late in my career. Still, I did all the nonsense. I'm still saying we could have done a lot more earlier, and I don't want you guys to waste your time on this. Not worth it. The degree is worth it, not that effort, 10 years into it. I'll tell you one story, one of my life-changing story in between one of the next sessions, but please understood how to revise? Yes. You need to keep doing it. Next time, whenever we say, I'll give you an examination, you are like, give us the 10 minutes time, we'll revise it and we'll write the examination. You understood, right? You should just be in a position to do this, okay, this is what it is. What we'll ask, they'll see. Surprise test and all should become like something not so surprising for you guys. Give 10 minutes, we are ready to write exam. I have done, even before examination, almost 20-30 revisions like the way I've done it for you guys now. And it's so easy. What you'll say, chapter 1, hey, 5 topics, this 5, oh, this formula, this what they'll ask, that's all. Again, go back. And I'll only make notes of the questions which I'm finding it difficult. Right? When I go to the examination, in the name of God, 10 marks not for me, give it to God. 90 marks I have to write. Okay, in that I have to find 4 questions. 4 questions I got, 32 marks done. And all other questions what I have to score is 20 marks. Boss, done. Aram se I was writing. Nothing to bother about anything, right? Please go well prepared. Right? Few guys, the amount of efforts you guys are putting, traveling and other part of it, let's make something worth out of it. Right? We'll start our second chapter. This is the pure foundation of accounting. Whatever we are going to be doing in accounting is only going to be from whatever I'm going to be teaching now. Shall we start? Right? So, in the real life, accounting concepts, accounting principles, accounting conventions are used interchangeably. ಏನಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು CAಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಈ ಮೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅದೇ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡೋದು. Is it accepted? The answer is yes. In real life, whether they talk about what? Accounting concept, accounting principles, or accounting conventions, all mean the same, right? But for us, examination, there are 3 different definitions. We'll try to Again, it will be MCQ question, so we'll try to just understand the concept out of it. Now, what do you mean by a concept? And I'll try to explain it to you. Look into it. I said Rama went to save Sita. The moment I tell you this, what are the things which runs into your mind? Ramayana. Okay. Why in real life there can't be Rama and Sita? No. So you are saying Ramayana. I'm saying in now, let's assume, why can't her name be Sita, one more guy be named Rama? Why should a guy name only be Rama? Rama, spelling is the same, right? But the moment I said Rama went to save Sita, our mind automatically went to Ramayana. We spoke, automatically Lord Rama came in, Sita came in. When you imagine, right? Lot of things we are assuming it. The moment I say balance sheet and an asset, or let's say in a balance sheet, I show in the asset side a car. What are we thinking? That car belongs to that business? The moment I say this is my balance sheet, and in the balance sheet you find a car, what will you think? The car is the asset of that business. Did they write anywhere? Did I tell? Then why did you assume? Why did you assume? Did I say anything? But what? This is where accounting concept comes into picture. See, we know when you are seeing a balance sheet, if I say it is my balance sheet, you assume this belongs your assets, this is your liabilities. No one has to tell. Everyone will assume it. Now, what they are telling is, whenever a financial statements are prepared for an entity, there are going to be certain assumptions based on which we are going to be using it to prepare the financial statements. See, again, when we are preparing financial statements, I know that the users are going to be assuming certain things. Keeping that in mind, I'm going to be preparing my statements. This is called as accounting concepts. Look into the definition. The fundamental assumptions on which financial statements of an entity are prepared. So you are keeping an assumption from the user side, and based on it you are. Why are you doing it? So that you are maintaining a uniformity in it. I won't write her assets in my balance sheet, right? When I write an asset in my balance sheet, it means it belongs to. So that there is a uniformity, there is a consistency, and there is a reliability on it. That's where we follow certain assumptions. What we have to remember, concepts are assumptions based on which financial statements are. Are you all clear? What's a accounting concept? Now, when I say principle, this is something that I've seen lot of students, parents telling, hey, you know what, this is against my principle. What do that principle mean? Rules? Are there rules? Are there rules, or are those certain things that you believe that you want to follow? Okay, so let me look into it. Now, if we talk about Christianity, Hindu, or the Muslim community, right? We have our holy books. What are our holy books? Quran, Bible, Bhagavad Gita. Now, if we are Hindus, we all follow what is there from Bhagavad Gita. But why is that what I follow and what you follow are different? I'm not just talking of Hindus. If you look into it from the Muslims too, there are multiple groups, right? And even in Christianity, there is somebody who follows Mary, somebody follows Jesus. There are multiple Romans, Catholics, XYZ, right? If it's all coming from one book, why are we different then? Right? And this is what accounting principles comes into picture. When you look into what an accounting principle is, they say they are a body of doctrines. When I say doctrines, it can be your rules, regulations, right? Which is got to do with why are we doing this in accounting, right? Now, so look into the definition. Accounting principles are body of doctrines commonly associated with the theory and procedures of accounting, serving as an explanation as for your current practices. So what you are doing, why are you doing this? It will give you an explanation. If you go in and check also, whatever we are doing, in somewhere in Bhagavad Gita, somebody would have said this is right, other guys, so that is one guy followed. He says, this is what I want to follow, I become a Brahmin. This is what I want to follow, I become a Kshatriya. Everything is there. You choose what it is, so it will tell you why, what, and other part of it. Now, what I want to choose. If I am confused, it will act as a guide. So, when you read the whole definition, it is a body of doctrines. Look into it. That means body of rules and regulations, which is acting or which is giving me an explanation of what am I doing currently. And for me to choose something, if I am confused, it will act as a guide. Are you clear? Clear with this? Now read the definition properly. Accounting principles are body of doctrines commonly associated with the theory and procedures of accounting, serving an explanation of current practices and as a guide for selection of conventions or procedures where alternatives, if there is no alternatives, everyone will follow the same. Whenever there is alternatives, if you are confused, who's acting as a guide for you? Your accounting principles. Now, what did I tell you? Everything what has to be done is there in the principle. I choose what I want to follow, like that Brahmin community. I choose these are the things that I want. Once I do it, that becomes my convention. Convention is like the religion that I follow, right? How does that come into picture? See, you have a lot of rules and regulations. In that, you will pick your one which is convenient for you. Convention, convenient. Right? So, out of all the rules and regulations, you will pick what is right for you. Once you pick what is right for you, you will start practicing it. Once you practice, that becomes your rules and regulations. Right? That is what a convention is. So, look into it. Established accounting practices developed over time through common usage. They help in maintaining consistency in financial reporting, but can be modified as per the new standards and regulations. So, from where are they picking up what practice to follow? From the principles. Clear? Now, this, if you have understood, is more than enough. Don't try to mug up anything. Clear? Now, let us get into the concepts. So, we have closer to around 10 or 12 concepts. We'll try to see how much we can finish off today. First concept, the most easiest, is called the business entity concept. What's the concept? What does the business entity concept say? The business entity concept says business and the persons dealing with the business are always separate, right? Or the owner and business is always separate. This we all know it, correct? But why is it important? So you want to separate one part. She's saying, owner, you do anything related to business, I'll kick you and keep you out. Only what belongs to the business should be shown in the books of business, correct? Correct. Then you understood now what madam said? My business books should only have transactions which are related to anything which is outside business. One of the core of accounting is developed because of this concept. What is capital? Money invested by the owner. Capital is shown as a liability because of the business entity concept. Boss, look into it. Business owner. Business wants money to start. It came to whom? Owner. Look into it. Start treating business like a human. And let's have a conversation with the owner. Look into it. You guys are the owners. I am the business. Right? I am telling, hey, you know what? I want to start business. Give me the money. You gave me money. For business, it is a. Because what? You are not me. I have to give it. Then how are they different from the guys who give you a loan? You understood no first part? You have learned all of this no first PUC. So how is this different from loan? One. Okay. Who said shareholders? Do you think I have one share of Infosys? I'll take active part in Infosys business. Mediator. Ayyo. She made him mama only.
Loan will be repaid in a specific period of time, but when it comes to capital, until and unless it is granted, then.
Okay. So a loan, you have a fixed commitment to pay back in form of interest, in form of repayment of the money. Owners can become zero or hero. What owners get is a return in form of profits. It took a very long time for me to digest. Business makes profit, but the profit was shown as liability. Business makes profit, but profit is why? Because it has to be paid back to the owner for trusting me. For trusting me, whatever I make, I have to give it back to you. That's where profits are written on the liability side of the balance sheet. For me, my first PUC entire thing went waste because the teacher did not tell me this. I always thought profit ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನನ್ನ ದುಡ್ಡು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ liability ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಅಂತ. Purely because of a business entity concept. It is the reward for the owner for deploying the capital in the business. So the part of it, now let's try to, this one you understood? Why capital and profits is a liability? Which concept? Everyone clear with the concept?
Yes, sir.
Should I repeat anything? Okay. Now look into it. Who are you guys? So you gave me 50,000. You gave me what?
50,000.
Then on the way, you said you buy one packet of chips for me. 50 rupees. I bought, gave it to you, you ate. 50 rupees gone. Now, when I have to give you back the money, how much should I give you back? 49,950, not 50,000. Right? Why? Because the chips was not used for. It was used for. So when I have to repay you, if I have made any personal expense which belongs to you, from the money I have to repay, I will reduce it and then pay. What I reduce is going to be called as drawings. When you spend anything on behalf of the owner which is not related to the business, you will reduce it from the liability of the owner. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? Right? So let's try to read now if you have understood the entire thing. Okay. You gave me 50,000 to start the business. You asked me to buy a phone for you, not for me. After buying the phone, you took the phone, started calling, talking to people. 2 days later, you came and asked me, give me the money back. ನಾನು ನಿಂಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು? 50,000 40,000? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ 40? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ 40? Okay, because you use it for your personal. But assume that 10,000 mobile phone for use for business. Then how much should I repay you back? Because what I use for me, I will give you back whatever the money you have paid me. But if you use me and then that is for your personal benefit, I will reduce that money. Artha aitala? So anything that you are doing it for the business purpose does not hamper you, because you are different, I am different. But if you utilize me for your personal benefit, I have to reduce it from your money that I have to pay back. Artha aitha? Now, the entity concept states that a business is treated as separate legal and financial entity distinct from its owner. This means that the business transactions are recorded separately from the owner's personal transactions. What is the importance? Ensures clear financial reporting by distinguishing finances from personal expenses. Helps determine the capital investment made by the owner and track the business liability. Applied to all of this. Now let's try to look at an example. X starts a business with 7 lakhs, purchasing machinery for 5 lakhs and keeping 2 lakhs in cash. What did he do? He started business. How much did I take it from you guys? In that, what did I do? I purchased machinery for how much? 5 lakhs. How much I have cash left? How much should I pay you back? 7 lakhs only, because that machinery was bought for. Understood? Right? What I do with your money has nothing to do with you. I have taken you 7, I have to repay you. The business was 7 lakhs to X, treated as capital. If X withdraws 5 for his personal use, how much should I pay you guys back? 6,90,000. Artha aita ellargu? Easy. Next concept. We have already learnt it. Next concept that we have learnt it. Money measurement. What does the money measurement concept say? We learnt in our definition only. Only transaction. Non-monetary. Only transactions which can be recorded in terms of money are going to be recorded. Otherwise, you are going to be ignoring it. So there is one question which has come in. It's there in the teacher notes. When you read it, you will get it. So what happens is, let's assume I am starting a business. You are starting a business. She wants 1 lakh. I want 1 lakh. Whose business is valued more? Practically, I am starting. Let's assume both of us want to start something in education. I ask for 1 lakh. She asks for 1 lakh. Whose business is valued more? My business. Why? Experience, qualification, age, all of those, right? Accounting says, hell with you, I don't even care. Both are same. Aapka bhi 1 lakh, mera bhi 1 lakh, 1 lakh capital. So accounting ignores all of this non-monetary aspects. One more thing, your dad's example. When I was going to college, pocket money was 50 rupees per month. Now you are asking per day 500 rupees. Correct, no? Yes or no? But in that day, in 500 rupees, you could have gone entire country and come. Bus ticket was 10 paise. You have not even seen 10 paise, no? Bus tickets were 10 paise. When I was studying, petrol prices was 28 rupees. Gold price was 2000 rupees. right? 2 or 20 is something it was. Now it is what, 9,000, 10,000, right? That time only, this time only. But for them, anything that you spend on, they'll start the story. That time you should also tell, I'll give you 50 rupees to survive and live. Correct? No? Then they'll tell one more Ramayana. That's okay. But what is that which is happening is, we said one of the functions of accounting is comparison. But when we are comparing it money to money, accounting ignores inflation. Accounting ignores. This is one of the limitations of accounting. What I spoke to you, 2 points. Both of them are what? What are those? Ignores non-monetary transactions. Second, inflation is also ignored. Clear? So this we are not going to explain. Now let's come to this concept. Most important concept, something that we ignore also to a larger extent. Concept? What do you mean by going concern concept? Let the business continue, no? What is it which is bothering you? Going concern concept, business has to continue for a forlong future. Business should never shut down. As accountant, why am I bothered? Or why is it you guys as users bothered about that? While preparing accounting, that too. If you can elaborate. I am talking today. Why is a going concern concept so important in accounting? I am using the term so important. Okay, see, so she's saying the guys who have given me loan, they know that you have a future, you will repay the money back. Good concept, good explanation. Then first PUC, how many got 100? See, there's 100. If there is no going concern concept, there is nothing called assets or liabilities. If there is no why?
Further, they will realize it and
Okay, she's saying if you are not going further, yeah, madam. Okay. Now let me try to look at it with periodicity concept, and then I'll come back to the going concern concept. Right? So one thing that you have to remember is what? The definition of assets and liabilities exist only because there is a
going concern concept.
Now we'll come to periodicity and then again try to revisit the going concern. So I'm trying to connect both, look into it. What is that I'm going to do in a going concern concept? My going concern concept says business is going to continue for foreseeable future. Business will continue. There is no end. Right? If I tell you there is no end, there is a problem. How do I know that you are preparing well for exam? It's like this. I asked you guys, hey, are you prepared for your examination? Sir, we are reading. Are you prepared after 1 month? We are reading. You ask after 1 year, we are reading. When are you going to put a full stop to it? So for that, exam should happen, no? So to assess the performance of a business, what we do, since the business is continuing for a foreseeable future, I will try to break my business into equal intervals. This intervals can be 1 month, it can be 3 months, it can be 6 months, it can be 1 year. We follow yearly. We follow what? We follow, when I say an accounting period, we are talking of a year, but there is no restriction. It can be 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 3 years, anything. But for us, we follow what? The moment I am dividing my going concern to a particular period. Now look at it. In that period, whatever income I earn, I will try to match with the expenses so that I know my profits or losses. So that periodicity becomes important for me to assess the performance. Otherwise, if I don't give you a test, like I said, are you studying? Studying. Tomorrow also studying. Year end also studying. You have to put a full stop. That's what I'm doing with it, so that I know whether you're studying or not. In the business angle, I want to know whether you are performing well or not. Are you clear? Now, look into it. Let's assume that I have purchased a car and a rice. When I purchased car, can I use it within that year, or can I use it for more than a year? Rice? That's where car becomes an asset, rice becomes an expense. Why it's an asset is because I know I will work for this business, will be there for 2 more years. I know the car can be utilized for 2 more years. The benefit of that can be taken in the future. The definition of asset says, if I am spending today and I'm gonna get a benefit in the future, then it's an asset. If there is no future, then there cannot be an asset. It will become an expense. Artha aita? Going concern concept ಏನಕ್ಕೆ important ಅಂತ. ನಾವು in our accounting, madam was saying liquidation ಎಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನನಗೆ ನಾಳೆ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. Let's say for an example, she has made so much of loan, she is not able to repay. I know she is not in a position, seeing her finance. What will I tell her? ಕತ್ತಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನೇನಿದೆಯೋ ಮಾರಿ ನನ್ನ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡಿ. ನಿನ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅದು 10 ಕೋಟಿ ಆದ್ರೂ ಇರ್ಲಿ, 100 ಕೋಟಿ ಆದ್ರೂ ಇರ್ಲಿ, sell it, give me the money, because I know you will not survive tomorrow. Correct? Practical, right? That's where when you're doing liquidation or dissolution of a firm, you convert all your assets into realizable value. You are no longer concerned about what is that original value. Why did you change it to realizable value? Because there is no longer going concern concept applicable. Artha aita? What is dissolution of a firm? When you are closing down your business, do you have a future? When you don't have a future, what matters to you is that building is worth 10 crores, or if I sell the building, I'll get 3 crores. So that means you're going to be focused more on realizable value, not on the original value of the asset. Why? Because your going concern concept no longer. Artha aita ellargu? Sure? All the 100 mark guys. Done? Clear? So why do we do periodicity? Because I want to assess the performance. One more thing is, so let's read this definition. See here, the going concern concept assumes that the business will continue to operate in the, and it has no intention of or significantly reducing its operation. If a business is expected to close, then you're going to be preparing it on a different basis. How do we prepare it? On the instead of, but if you are going to continue, then you will always keep it as per the original value itself. Artha aita? Periodicity concept ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ ನೋಡಿ. The periodicity concept, also known as definitive accounting period concept, states that the business is an indefinite life. Which is saying business has an indefinite life. Going concern concept is saying business is having an indefinite life. This one I am trying to divide it into fixed time period. Why are you dividing it? For the purpose of measuring your performance and financial performance andre enu? Profit or loss. Position andre enu? Right? See, now you know everything. Did both of it make sense? Everyone? So why are we doing? So clearly what did I say? Going concern concept as indefinite period. I try to break it into smaller periods. Each period will become my accounting period, right? I break it into intervals. Each interval will become my accounting period. Why am I doing it? To measure the financial performance. Now, what does it do? It allows me now for a timely financial reporting. What are the benefits? This is important. This is important. One, what will you do last year, this year? Comparison. Now, this is something I want you guys to understand a bit from the accounting angle. Ensures uniform and consistent accounting treatment. I am repeating it again. Ensures uniform and, what does it mean? You know depreciation chapter? You know straight line method is there, WDV method is there, right? Let's assume that I am following straight line method of depreciation. What it is saying is, this year if you are following straight line, next year also you follow straight line. Does that mean that I cannot change to straight line to WDV? Can you change? The answer is no. The answer is no. Then once you make a mistake, lifelong suffer. What this which way? So the rule is like that. Once you adopt an accounting policy, you cannot make changes to it. You can only make changes in 3 circumstances. You can only make changes in how many circumstances? 3. Circumstance number 1. Law is asking you to change. Law is saying everyone start following WDV. Then what you will do? You will also follow. Second, accounting standard. What is that? We'll see later. Accounting standard is making it mandatory for you to change. Who's asking you to change? Who is preparing accounting standard? CA Institute. So if CA Institute is also asking, you have no option but to change. Now law is saying straight line. Accounting standard is saying WDV. What will you do?
Follow law.
Accounting standard is saying something. Law is saying something. Who will prevail? Filmgal nodalva. No one is above law. Remember this. No one is above law. So always, who will prevail? Third scenario. This is where all of them play around. Third reason why you can change is if it leads to a better presentation of financials. If it leads to what? What is better? It is saying who's fair? Fair and lovely, right? For somebody, they'll say this is fair. For somebody, they'll say this is fair. Fairness is all determined as a subjective thing, right? What is better? What is better? So, what people do is all the CS play around with this. They will come, they will change and say, you know what? This is leading to a better presentation. So, when they come to justify, and this is a very bad joke, now look into it. Let's assume that you are a group of, you want to show you have scored the highest marks. What you will do? Whoever has got lower than you will say, make them your friends and go home and tell, Amma, ನನ್ನ friends ಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯ ನಂದೇ highest. Correct, no? Is that a better presentation? Correct, no? Absolutely right. Now, this is what CS also do. What they do, if they want to change from straight line to WDV, they will pick up all the firms which are doing WDV in the same industry. They will say, see, by doing this, this is what they had an impact on. That's why I'm also changing. Tomorrow, one guy wants to change it to the straight line. He will find all the firms who are doing straight line and then say, you know what? They are doing straight line. This has been the impact. That is right. That's why I'm changing to straight line. So all of them play around with this loop because they are using a qualitative term. So 3 reasons why I can change. First one, second, third one, yella ide. I'm just covering it because it came in. So we have to ensure what? Why are we doing periodicity? To ensure uniform and consistent accounting. Last one, facilitates. So we have not learned it. So we'll learn it and then we'll come back. What does this facilitate? So any doubt in periodicity and going concern? Right? Assets and liabilities are defined because of which concept? Because you have a future. See, imagine, I'll tell you this, and this again a good scenario. When I have to prepare my balance sheet on 31st March. I prepared balance sheet on 31st March. Full building, everything was there. I went home, slept. Right? 31st night, April Fool's Day. Earthquake happened, building vanished. Building vanished. Now, on 31st March, should I show assets? Yes or no? As on 31st March. Absolutely yes, right? On that day, did I have a future? On 31st March, did I have a future? I'll show it. That's all matters. What I will do is, I'll write one note below to say, you know what? When I submitted, there was a future, but when I'm giving a report, there's no future. How we write and all, audit will learn, but this is how it happens. So that's what I said. Balance sheet as on. Make sense? This and all, I wish they teach now. PO. They don't teach any of this, no. Direct. Going concern, you go home. Right? We'll go next concept called accrual concept. Now, what does this accrual concept mean? So earlier, at the early stage of accounting, ಏನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಕೊಟ್ನಾ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡು, ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ವಾ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ. ಐ ಸೋಲ್ಡ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ಹರ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಅವಳು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಲಾ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಲುಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಇಟ್, ಸಿ ವೆನ್ ಐ ಸೋಲ್ಡ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ಹರ್, who should pay money? But if I don't record it, imagine what happens. Tell me what happens if I don't record that. Forget, fine. According to the books, who's having that goods? I have sold to her. She is enjoying it. She has to give me money. But accounting is saying, Arjun, books, you are having assets. Is it right? Right? ಇದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಸಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ನ ಇನ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನೆವರ್ ಫಾಲೋ, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾಲೋ accrual system. What does that accrual concept say? Record transactions, listen to it, record as and when it happens, not based on receipt or payment. Transaction ಆಯ್ತಾ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡು, ದುಡ್ಡು ಬಂತ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಲೆಗೆ ಕೆಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಬೇಡಿ. Completion of transaction should be your reason for recording it, not basis of paisa. Understood? Now we'll try to create certain examples. Important concept, so we'll try to create some examples. First thing, I sold goods to her. When should I record? When I sold, right? So when she gives me money, again I'll record. No problem. Now what happened? I am a furniture sofa dealer. Which dealer? Sofa. Madam was walking. She saw one nice sofa. She said, I want this only. I don't want you to sell it to anyone. She gave me an advance. She said, I'll buy 3 months later. Take the advance. And she left. 3 months later, I delivered the sofa to her. 4 months later, she paid me the money. 4 months later, she paid me the money. Now tell me, when is the first time I'm going to record in my books? Thank you, madam. When she paid me advance, didn't the transaction happen? Money, no. What did I say? See, guys, money means transaction. Completion of transaction and all does not even matter. Transaction over a record. Transaction happened a record. If she does not want sofa, that means you will say your money gone, or will you refund? Money gone. Please give me some money. I am waiting to find people like you. Will pay money and forget. I am only that shopkeeper. I said my shop. Correct? No, I told my shop only. No. See, this and all I'm very clear. I want money. So the transaction happened to me when she paid me the advance. I'll record. Selling of the goods, again I will record. Payment of money, again I will record. None of it is dependent on any of it. One more thing. She worked for me for 1 month. I'll pay salary 15 days later. Listen to it. January 1 to 31 she worked. I'm going to be paying her salary on Feb 15th. When should I record it? Wrong. Jan 31st. For what should I pay her money for? When did she work? Jan 1. For that period, I have to pay it in that period. When you delay it, it becomes your liability. It becomes your. So I should be recording on 31st March saying that I am supposed to pay her salary. I have not paid it. That's where it is called as outstanding salary. Outstanding salary. Right? On which day? And when I paid on 15th Feb, what I pay her is not salary. I am paying her is a accrual concept. Clear? And I'm telling, if you understand this chapter properly, trust me, accounting, you will go enjoy writing your paper. Any day they give, you will not fail. I'm not saying you'll get 100. You will not. Right? So, we are done with our accrual concept. So, what does accrual concept say? You are going to be recording transactions as and when it happens, irrespective of whether the... Easy? Now we'll read the example and we'll see what I explain and what it is. Is it the right? The accrual concept states that transactions and events are recorded in the accounting books when they occur, not when cash is received or paid. This ensures that the financial statements reflect the true financial of a position of a business. I told you that example, right? It shows that she has to pay me money, not that I am having that goods. It helps in recognizing revenue when earned, even if salary example. What I explained to you guys, that salary example falls in here. Ensures that the financial statements show accurate income. Done. Now let's try to look into the example. Mr. X starts business with 50,000. Buys merchandise for and sells it for, customer pays 50,000 in cash and promises to pay 10,000 later. Now, what is your revenue? What is your revenue? This one, right? He has sold goods for 60, therefore my revenue will become, right? How much you still have to receive? Why? Because he only paid you. So you are still supposed to receive. So if you are supposed to receive in the future, asset or liability? So I have an asset of 10,000. So look at it, profit, revenue is 60, expense is 50, 10,000. Right? I have spent how much on the goods? 50k. How much is my revenue? 60. Therefore, how much profit I made? Advance cash received before any revenue is earned. That, so for example, is recorded as a revenue earned before cash received. Right? She's a debtor. Debtor is my. Understood? Every word I have gone, explained everything. Like I said, the recordings will be available for you guys to, but don't try to go very deep. Once you keep studying again and again, over a period, you will become a master. Don't try to aim for a perfection on day one. Right? Because sometimes, especially with girls, I see this habit. They want to be so thorough with it. Don't try. Over a period, you will become thorough. Because we are looking at 4 years journey, not my foundation or accounts journey, right? Over a period, we'll continue, read again and again. One day, like I said, you do better than yesterday, better for us. If you see, we have total 250 days for your examination. Every day after class, if you are confident that you will get 1 mark, you will pass your foundation exams. Your target for every day is how many marks? So that's how I prepare. So I'm just telling it to you guys. So make sure, don't overstress yourself, right? Any doubt with accrual concept? This one, an advance cash paid before expense incurred. Advance cash paid before expenses incurred. Before salary only, I am giving salary. Asset or liability? Stop. Whoever said liability, stop. She has to work for me in the future. I have paid her money. For me, how can it be a liability? What is liability? You have an obligation to pay. Somebody is saying, I've already paid her, still you pay her. I have to take service from her, not pay her again and again. What? I'm doing some charity here or what? I have paid her advance salary. Why is it called an asset? Is because can I take the benefit of this advance in the future? If I get the benefit in the future, then it is a. She runs away. After taking the money, she is absconding. How can it be a liability? It's a loss. Why are you saying liability? Liability will not even come closer. Touch me not, it is for this concept. Right? It is a loss. Why? Because I am not having a future. The money I paid is gone. That means it becomes a loss. The moment I know she's going to be there loyally, going to come work for another 1 month, I know in next month's salary I can and adjust it. Can I get the benefit out of the future? Therefore, it becomes a. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ liability ಅಂದ್ರೆ next one, expense incurred before cash paid. Right? Like that salary example I said, she worked till Jan 31st. On Jan 31st, it is a salary which is outstanding. Therefore, it is a. Clear? First concept we learned was business entity. What did we learn? Business separate from the owners. I said capital is shown on the profits are a. Then we learned about, what did we say here? Transactions which are, it's going to be, then we learned about going concern, foreseeable future, assets, liabilities, periodicity, going concern, indefinite period, break it into intervals. Why are you doing it? To measure the financial performance and the position. 3 objectives. 1, comparison. Second one, third one, to make sure that the accrual concept is followed. Right? What is accrual concept? You record transactions as and when it happens, irrespective of whether. Superb. No doubts. So tomorrow when I give test, don't ask doubts. Right? We'll do these questions hopefully. Let's see. Next concept. Matching concept. Now see the way matching concept works. For a particular period. For what? Whatever income I earn. Or during a particular period. Let's make it this way. During a particular period, whatever income I earn should be matched with the expenses incurred to earn that revenue. Listen to it. For a particular period, what am I talking of? Whatever income I am earning, ಆ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಯಾವ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನೋ, ಆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನೋ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಟ್ ಟು earn that revenue should be matched. Why are we matching it? To find out the profit or a loss. Simple, right? Income minus expenses, sure. But idralli we have to keep it in mind that income should have earned in that period, and the expenses what I am incurring should have been for the purpose of earning that revenue only. Clear? Fine. Now let's read, and I want you guys to just solve this question. Last question which is there. Matching concept states that all the expenses related to earning revenue in a given period should be recorded in the same period. This will ensure financial statements accurately reflect profit or why are we doing it? It ensures that the revenue and related expenses are recorded together for accurate profit calculations. It follows the accrual concept, meaning that revenue and expenses are recognized when they occur, not when cash is received or paid, along with periodicity concept, ensuring financial performance is measured within the given period. I think ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿರೋ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಬಂದಾಗಿದೆ. What did I say? You are calculating for a particular period. Which concept? Whatever income you have earned versus whatever expenses you have incurred. Which concept is this? Accrual, no. Whatever you have earned. I did not say whatever you have received. I said whatever you have earned and whatever you have incurred to earn that revenue. Both are which concept? Accrual concept, right? By doing this matching, you are getting your profit or loss. That's what is the concept, no? Artha aita idu? Tirga? Should I repeat this again? Yeah, this. See, what they are saying is in a particular period, right? Let's assume that you are talking from 1st April to 31st March. In that period, whatever income you have earned, not what you have received, whatever billings you have done, that income minus whatever expenses you are doing to earn that revenue, that you will match it so that you can find out your profit or loss. Read this question. Mr. PK. You watched that movie, American? You guys should watch. Amazing movie. Belief about God. You should watch. Mr. PK started cloth business. He purchased 10,000 pieces of goods at 100 per piece. So write down, how much did he pay for purchases? Mr. PK purchased 10,000 pieces garments at 100. Just write the values, that's enough. 10,000 into 100, 10 lakh. Sold 8,000 pieces at 150 per piece. So what's the sales value? Right? Sales. What's the sales value? 12 lakh. During the accounting period for 12 months, 1st January to 31st December, he paid a shop rent of 3,000 per month for 11 months. So rent paid how much? 33,000. 3,000 into 11, 33. He paid 8 lakhs to suppliers. That is, suppliers is what? Creditors? Creditors, he has paid 8 lakhs. He received 10 lakhs from customers. That is 10 lakhs from customers. So how much did he pay for purchases? 10 lakh. Then sales, that is 10,000. How much was the unit? Sorry, what's the profit? What I want you guys to please read carefully and apply, right? Don't blindly apply, right? We are humans, not computers. What did I say? The matching concept is whatever income I have earned. How much income did I earn? Should be matched with the expenses incurred to earn that revenue. Whatever expenses I have incurred to earn that. Okay. How did I get this 12 lakhs? By selling which goods? How much did I sell? 8,000 goods for. So if I have sold 8,000 goods, should I not take the cost of 8,000 goods? Did I sell 10,000 goods or did I sell 8,000? So I should I match the cost of 8,000 to 8,000 or 10,000 to 8,000? How about 10,000? So I have spent here 8,000 into 100. So that means 12 lakhs, 8 lakh. This is one part. Now, did you also incur rent? Right? What did I say? Whatever income you have earned in that period has to be matched with the expenses incurred to earn that revenue for that period. How many months was that period? How many months was that period? 12 months. In that 12 months, they have paid rent only for. Should I take rent for 12 months or 11 months? Should I take rent for 12 months or 11 months? What does accrual concept say? I did not pay rent. Does that mean that rent is not incurred? So how many months should I incur rent? So that is. So therefore my profit will be ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ? Anyone in the class got this answer? Must be 199. Suicide. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ actually there's another trick that you guys can always follow is don't get 100, get 99. When somebody says like this, like me, then you can say that 1 mark I lost was that one only. At least you will give that sadistic satisfaction. If you say you got 100, you should deserve that 100. Only then there is fun. 2-3 ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಓದೋದು, ಅದನ್ನೇ ರಟ್ಟ ಹೊಡೆದು ಅದೇ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, CA ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೇಲ್. Reason is this only, because their past paper questions can come. Here, pure application. Whatever I explained, same thing only has come in. Did I explain periodicity? See here. Period, accrual, matching, full is there. All applied in one concept. Write down. Now done writing. Now we'll go further, try to break it down, look into it. Let's try to look into the revenue. You guys had to write. Ellardu aita to how much revenue did I earn? How much did the customer pay? So 2 lakhs is still receivable. Therefore, this is my done. Next one. How much goods did you purchase? How much did you pay to the creditor? So how much you still have to pay? Liability. What was your rent? In that, how much did you pay? Therefore, how much is outstanding? Which is my correct. How many goods did you purchase? In that, how many did you sell? How many are left? At 100. This is 2 lakh, which is my closing stock is my next one. What's my profit? Which is my ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಫುಲ್ಲು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? You missed out that first part. Separate entity legal concept, separate business entity concept. Business entity concept, business and owners are different. Profit is made for behalf of the owners. You give it back to the owners. So profits are shown on the liability side of balance sheet. Recordings will be given. You can watch it. I have already explained it. Guys, done? ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ? ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸೊ ನೀವು ಮುಂಚೆ ಓದಿದಕ್ಕೂ ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ನೋಡಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ until you don't get your concepts right, your application becomes difficult. It's not got to do with hinge plug madi straight away. If you were getting answers, this would have been a different story, right? You need to apply. For that, you have to get your concept right. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಓದಿದ್ರಿಂದಾನೆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, the answer is no. So for that we have to keep practicing more questions. Easier way, you guys know ChatGPT, so you can always put it in ChatGPT to say, give me some examples of going concern concept, give me some examples of accrual concept. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. Sometimes it gives you nonsense which is wrong also. That your brain should say, okay, ಇದು ತಪ್ಪಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ. Then you come to class, discuss with your friends. Your friends also gives that answer, then you can discuss it. That's how you learn, right? If you cannot identify what ChatGPT is giving is also right or wrong, then you are going to be doomed like this. 3,67,000, 2 lakh to it. This is what will happen. Fine. Till now, anything, it's fine, easy, difficult, confusing. Yeah, madam. Yes, madam. Yo, why? Madam, how many months did you stay in that building? How many months you paid? You still have to pay 1 month. Will you pay a yes or no? Then what's your rent for the year? What did accrual concept say? What does accrual concept say? Irrespective of whether you pay or not, if the transaction has happened, I have stayed for 12 months. Am I liable to pay rent for 12 months? Then record it. Clear? Right? We'll do, I think I won't be able to finish all the concepts. We'll do 2 small concepts and So we'll try to do 4 small concepts. One big concept, we'll keep it for tomorrow. Okay. The next concept is called as cost concept. Which concept?
Cost concept.
Simple. What it says, when you are recording any transaction, when you have record it at its original cost of purchase. If I bought a car for 10 lakh, record it for. After I bought, car price went up to 20 lakhs. Still you're going to record it at. I purchased one land, 1 lakh today. 100 years passed by. My son's company, that land went and sat. That 1 lakh rupee worth of land today is worth 100 crores. Still you're going to be showing it at. All your assets are going to be recorded at its original cost of purchase. Are you clear? Right? So even if the prices have gone up, still recorded at its original cost. Clear with this? Clear with the cost concept? No doubt. So let's come to this, which is a nice concept, which follows the cost concept. What does the cost concept say? Record them at its. She came and said, sir, this car is worth 20 lakhs. Is worth? Why are you showing it at? I will only pay you 20 lakhs. Increase your value of the asset. People outside the market are ready to pay you 20 lakhs. I am also guaranteeing to pay you 20 lakhs. Right? One piece you have used. Right? Can I show it at 20 lakhs? Until she pays me that money, I can only change the value of the asset only when it gets realized. Realized means selling. Only when you sell it, you are going to be recording it. She coming and telling, they world gossiping behind does not have any impact on. Accounting says, पैसा आया, उसके बाद value change करो. Right? Otherwise, original cost, maintain it as it is. So see here, the realization concept states that any change in the value of the asset should be recorded only when it is actually, not when it is. This concept ensures that the financial statements reflect only confirmed gains. That means you should have sold, got the money, only then we are gonna change it. X purchased land for 1/1/1995 for 2000. On 31/12/2022, the land market value is 1,02,000. But since the gain is unrealized, traditional accounting will still record the land at. Can we do the revaluation? Yes, there are cases when you can do revaluation. We'll see later. Even when you do a revaluation, you keep it separately under a head called as capital reserve account. Only if you sell, you show it as a profit. Otherwise, it is going to be under a head called as capital. Capital reserve is not a profit to be given to the shareholders. Only when it becomes a revenue profit you can give. Capital reserves cannot be given. Are you clear? We'll learn later. Fine. Dual aspect, we'll see if we get time, we'll do. Otherwise, we'll do tomorrow. Next one. Conservatism. Conservatism. What does this conservatism mean? You have learned this. Record for all the possible losses, but not for the. So you will record all the anticipated losses. Like I am. Look into this. I'll give you two examples. I am a gold dealer. What dealer? I have purchased it for 9,000. What adrushta I had? I purchased it immediately next week. Price dropped to 8,500. Price dropped to how much? 8,500. Should I record it? Should I record it? Okay. Yes. We'll keep it aside. I am a gold dealer. I have purchased land 10,000. Land price has become 5,000. Should I record? Why? Gold digger allama, gold dealer. So why land you are showing different, gold you are telling different? Okay, gold I'll adjust, land I won't adjust. Gold I will adjust because like she said, I'm a gold dealer, that's my stock, and if there is an anticipatory loss, because tomorrow when I'm selling it, if the price has fallen to 8,500, I want the market to know, so I'll always show the loss. I'm not a land dealer, land is my asset. I told you, assets will always recorded at. It will continue to be at 10, whether it prices fall down or up. Clear? Now, see this example. Mr. X buys 10 computers at 20,000 each. He expects to sell them at 25,000. As per conservatism, can he record that 5,000 profit? He is expecting to. Did he sell? If he sells, realization concept kicks in and it says record it. Here, anticipation. Oh, if I take up CA, I'll completely pass. Anticipation. Conservatism say, shut up and study thinking you're going to fail. Correct? No. So, we always, if let's say the computer price instead of 20, it became 17. We should record it at 17. That means what's the drop in the value? That will be shown as a loss. This one we already spoke. Consistency. What did we say? Once you adopt one accounting policy, you record it again and again, follow the same. When can you change? Law, standards, better presentation. See, you know everything. Summa, we are wasting time. Okay, last concept for the day. We have 15 minutes, so I won't do the last concept. So we'll dual accounting concept we'll do tomorrow. So we'll try to do something. I finished what I was supposed to do in 2 days in 1 day. Yeah. Okay. Materiality concept. Right? What does this materiality concept say? What is material? What is material? Not raw material and all. What is material? You tell no, your friends and all, you are such a materialistic animal.
Sir, anything measured?
Eh. Hey, you guys don't use English so much, no? You don't use. You are a very materialistic guy.
Yes, sir. If they are only materialistic.
What does that mean?
Something is material only, they will have.
So that is like only if there is money, they value you. If you are pauper, they'll throw you. Correct, no? So now when I'm trying to look at a materiality concept, look into it. Now I'll give you an example. I am having 100 crores. I'm telling you guys, come partner with me. What will you do? You'll say, fine, right? What is there? Maybe we'll also make some crores. We'll partner with this guy. I did not tell you that I had 500 crores debt. Now will you partner with me? Why? So you will be like, boss, danger guy. But if I would have not told you about that 500 crore information, would you have partnered with me? That 500 crore was a material information. We'll keep this example aside. We'll come to the other one. She's running one business, 1 lakh rupee. That 1 lakh gets stolen. Would you invest in her business? Question number 1. 1 lakh rupees only, I also lost. But I am a 100 crore business guy. Will you invest in my business? Same 1 lakh, she also lost, I also lost. Why did this 1 lakh make a difference in your decision? Because for her, that 1 lakh is material. But for me, that 1 lakh does not even matter. Right? See the word materialistic coming in here. It is actually got to do with how is it going to impact your decision. Let's say for an example, your parents give you 5,000 rupees pocket money for a year. Somebody pickpockets it. You will give up everything in life to get that 5,000 back. Crying, getting all the mercy. But a guy who has, let's assume 1 crore as pocket money, do you really think he will bother about that 5,000? But it was the same 5. But because of the, what is it, the volume or other part of it, for one guy it became material, other guy it was not. So how do we define this materiality then? So by knowing that information, listen to it, by knowing that information, if your decision making is going to change. For an example, I am a 100 crore company, I lost 1 lakh. Will your decision change? You are a 1 lakh company, you lost 1 lakh. Will your decision change? That same 1 lakh, knowing in this case, would have changed your decision of investing or not investing. 100 crore company, 500 crore debt. That 500 crore debt information would have changed your decision. That we call it as material information. Now for you guys, this much of detail is not required. Simple question they will ask you in the exam is, paysas are ignored in the balance sheet because of which concept? One Infosys 1,000 crore company, hey, 1 paisa you did not put in, that's why you will not invest in your company. He will slap you and say, get lost. Right? 1 paisa and all does not matter. So done. So we are done with your almost 18 pages today, or 16 pages to be precise, right? So before we wind up for the day, few things. Don't try to mug up anything. Just try to understand and try to see, can you, the moment you tell that concept, does your mind recollect whatever I've told in the class? Few basic things. The moment you say, hey, you know what, materiality concept, by knowing that information, my decision should change. Conservatism. Hey, you know what, anticipated losses, but not gains. Like this, your mind should be able to recollect all the key points when you are telling it, and also try to recollect few examples. If you are able to do that, you are on the right track. And you have to keep doing this every day See, it is like this. Today I'll take 20 minutes to revise. Tomorrow I should be revising in 10. Day after 3. One week later, it should be in 1 minute. I should be done with revising my. By then, what will happen? Second chapter would have moved from 10 minutes to 3 minutes. Then next week, second chapter will also become 1 minute. Third chapter will be at 3 minutes. Like this, you keep adding, everything you'll be able to recollect. Then you'll become like that Robo movie Rajnikant. Tuck, tuck, tuck. You'll be able to recollect everything. Right? Easier way to pass. Don't overcomplicate it. I tell this to all the students is, when would you achieve success? First thing for success is to believe that you will be successful. No matter who says, like I told you, I will only accept failure only after I fail. No matter what happens. Your thought of failure, keep it outside. You should not even come closer to it. Keep telling, I'll do things to pass. Let's see, we'll do things to pass. Environment around you changes quite a bit. And I want you guys to keep talking about it. Hey, let's do it to pass. Don't ever discuss about failure or other stuff to any of them. Right? Here we are going to discuss always the success. First rule. Second part of it, you will be successful only when you want to be successful. Right? What I mean by it is your desperation to not give up. I keep telling this example in a lot of orientations that I do is, if you don't have food, what will you do? If you are very hungry right now, what you will do? Go home, ask mom something. Mom's not there, what you will do? Try to see, can you prepare something? Nothing is there at home. Go out, Bangalore Band, everything is shut. What you will do? You will put one white flag, I'm dying, and sleep off. No, I'm asking, do you do this? You will still try to figure out, search up, down, go to neighbor, shamelessly you will ask. But you will not give up and say, I'm going to die and put a white flag on top of your head. No food today, I would have died by the time you see me. That is how your hunger should be for your examination. Even that you will fall sick on the day of exam, boss, it's okay. In that last 10 minutes I got, can I do anything to make sure I pass? Have that hunger till the time you are coming out of each paper. Every day the way you eat, sleep, right? Your study should just become a part of it. Don't do it as a punishment. What is that I am going to get by you guys becoming CA? Let's practically talk, right? What is that I'll get by you guys doing CA? Right? My maximum satisfaction, I'll tell you, is out of this, there are some deserving kids. Their family, if it elevates because of whatever I'm doing today. Trust me, I'm more than happier for that. Right? I personally have taught more than 20,000 students. For me, that is a different kick that I get, which I did not see with my money also. So for me, I go back being the most happiest guy. I enjoy myself. I don't have to answer to anyone. I do what I like. For me, that is freedom and that is life, and I enjoy that. Wherever I go, people treat me with respect. See, yesterday in the audience too, right? They are all way too senior than me. Way too senior. The amount of respect that they give, I don't know whether I deserve it or not. But I'm happy that they give it, right? And for me, those are satisfactory. I am more happier than that. Luckily, my family also does not even bother so much about it. So I'm enjoying that part. Otherwise, what will happen? You fail. Did I do my job well? I am happy about it. You do your job well, you will pass. And it's a very simple world. I am very simple with the way I lead also, right? I have zero emotions towards all of it. Even if somebody is falling or other stuff, I say, boss, there is a hole, I told you will fall. You did not listen, you fall. Why should I feel pity on you guys falling? right? Weren't you given all the best resource? The answer is yes, right? Please make use of it. And only if you can make up your mind. And saying, somebody yesterday was saying, shall I write the September exam? If you guys want to write it, let me know. I'll tell you how to write it. But we are aiming only for your January exams. Here, because it's sponsored, for me, I'm answerable to making sure most of them pass. If my objective is to complete portions and make sure you guys are going to read by yourself, that is not what we are here for. You can join for a commercial coaching. Right? In a commercial coaching, we finish the portions within 4 months. You have all the time. You do it yourself. Whether you want, you do it. Otherwise, we don't even care. Because you have paid the money to us. Correct? No? Which college do you think they're bothered after they have collected fees from you? Here, they have not even collected. Still, if you see how many times they are coming and checking, am I teaching properly or not? They're not checking, they're just doing, but I'm saying they're still trying to check what are we doing out there, right? That much concern they have. I should just give back what it is. And like I told you, after very long time, I am teaching just because of the objective, not for anything else. And whatever I'm spending, it's more major loss for me than what I'm doing. I want to be at least happy to say, hey, you know what, guys, this batch made it up. That is what I am looking at, and I'm very, very selfish on that. And I'm telling you openly why I'm doing it also, right? So please make sure that you go back, study materials. I told you where to read it. Go back, read through, come back tomorrow. Hope you learned something nice today, right? Better than whatever you have learned in your 11th and 12th, right? Something hopefully better. Try to apply. And as we go forward, I want that we pick up our pace. What if we can do 5 questions instead of 2 in a class? What if we can be smarter and say, you know what, boss, accounting, no, I'll only teach 10 other guys. You will have your friends and other people who are struggling, failing or other stuff. What if you can help it? That will be the best thing that we can do, right? So see you guys tomorrow. RCB is Chennai. Go and watch. Right? See you tomorrow.